Wagwan me people, quick thing before we kick off. The views where you hear upon the Father to Father podcast, them strictly for why, the hosts, guests and contributors. Them now represent Catholic Notebook, Spirit Stream Studios, the Diocese, University, or any affiliated groups. You see me? And remember, this podcast are strictly for adult ears, so listen up with discretion.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Yeah. Dan, one of the things we've been talking about all week, as we wrap up the year and all that stuff, was couples and stuff like that. And people are talking about getting married and all that stuff. And it was kind of interesting because I came across this.
The appropriate amount to spend on your future wife's engagement ring. Like, how much are you spending? Too much? Are you spending too little? And I feel like the general consensus is 3 months salary. That's how much you spend. Well, at You Can Call Me Jada on TikTok thinks that it shouldn't be 3 months salary. It should be relevant to something else a man has purchased.
Let's normalize wanting engagement rings that cost as much as your partner's car.
So I don't hate it. I don't hate the idea. Because, I mean, most cars only last like 10 years. And theoretically, your relationship should last a lifetime.
So basically, this has been the thing that's been going around everywhere, especially amongst the students in my college class. And they've been talking about like, hey, yo, let's start normalizing spending the amount of money your car is worth on a ring for my finger, on an engagement ring for my finger, rather than 3 months. Because you know what? You might be working at McDonald's and driving a car worth $50,000 instead of giving me a ring that's 3 months worth of your salary.
We're not going to normalize mental illness. That's not okay.
Come on, man.
Nah, we're not normalizing stigma. That's not what we're doing.
Isn't she worth it though? It's 3 months. It's not 3 months. It's just it's just the worth of your car. So then I said, you know what? What if you date her the entire time and you get a Bentley? You have a Bentley the entire time you're dating her, and then 3 months prior to proposing, you switch that out for a Pin 2 or a Geo Tracker. That's worth like $500.
That's fair. That's completely fair.
She goes, I want your car value on my finger. And
what
you
are
go,
you, Carfax?
Yeah. And you go, okay, you better catch this Geo Tracker in this Walmart ring. Hey, play that music.
Welcome to Father, where life and faith meet, a place for the soul, where wisdom speaks. Hope in the message, strength in the beat. Welcome to Father, where life and faith meet.
Welcome to Father Podcast. My name is Dr. Giovanni, and with me is my right hand, my main man,
Father Greg Lambert.
Hey, you look tired, my guy.
I'm pretty exhausted.
No, I bet. Don't worry about it. I got Chinese food for you. It's gonna be your fuel. Hey, don't worry about it. No matter where you're listening, no matter where you are, if you're hearing us right now, please drop us a 5-star review. I can't handle less than 5 stars. Father Greg is humble. He's always been humble. But I am not. I'm working on it. He's working on me. Pause.
Can't be both humble and successful. So I've been told.
Yo, that always throws me for a loop.
I know. It never makes sense. It never makes sense. No matter how hard you think about it or how many mental gymnastics you try to put through it, it's not going to work.
It's like who in their right mind looks at you and said, like, listen, you got to pick one, humility or success. And it's like, yo, but how do you know if you're successfully humble?
You're being disrespectful.
But yeah, give us 5 stars, and drop us a review, drop us a like, everything like that. Also, thank you so much for Spirit Stream Studios and Catholic Notebook. And if you like them, and if you rock with us the long way, go ahead and go to catholicnotebook.org/father to father podcast, father to father. That is catholicnotebook.org/F2F. And support Spirit Stream, support Catholic Notebook, and then by that they give us a platform to do what we do best. I mean I think we got all the bills out of the way.
I hope so.
Yeah, you ready?
I got no money.
Yeah. No, that's a lie.
No,
You got no bills. What bills you got? What bills you got?
Dog.
You ain't got no student loans.
I got a car bill.
You ain't got no kids. You ain't got no kids. You ain't got no. You ain't got no house payment. You ain't got no water bill. You ain't got no food payment. But then you sitting there looking me dead in my face, going like, "I ain't got no money." Where you put your money, Greg? Where'd you put your money, Father Greg?
I got a savings and a check-ins.
Hey, don't look at me and be like, "Oh, I got a check-ins and a savings mom." What? What?
I got $32,000 a year.
You know what? Let's hear me out.
yeah. Nobody really wants to go with that one, right?
No. We ain't about to go that.
Give me time, let me speak, no doubt. The truths in my words, the wills will shout. All I'm asking is hear me out.
It's not just a seal. It's like I've seen
this one has a little bit of an update, so we got an update. Also, they told me they had to like rework the language a little bit, because as they put it, it seemed like he was in a bad place when he wrote it. Oh, and he was a little upset, and he used Catholic language at times, so that they just had to rewrite it. They're trying to do this new thing called redacted and word sub, where they redact it and then they put a word that they would substitute for the word that it would have been.
Like instead of like cuss words, it's gonna say Subway sandwiches.
Well, no, it'll say like
what the Subway sandwiches is happening here.
Yeah. Or it'll be like, "Yo, brethren," or I don't know. Like I think I really
brethren.
I really think one of them is brethren. To be fair, one of them is like woman. I don't even know the context of it, but I just
sisters, let us acknowledge our sins and so.
All right, so they're just setting the stage. This hear me out. All right, here we go. But hear me out. Should I just quit and become a priest?
The word "just" is throwing me off here. Should I just quit? Should I just quit and become a priest? I said they're the same thing. I'm gonna quit at life and become a priest. That's what I did.
Yeah,
that's what I did, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? Who needs to get married? Who needs to have their FICO score run through? Who needs to buy? Who needs to buy a $38,000 ring? Let me just quit on life.
Yeah, you got $30,000 bathrooms, right?
It's always $30,000 with one toilet and all this space. Oh my goodness.
Okay, but hear me out. Should I just quit and become a priest? My name is James. I'm 30, and honestly, I'm thinking about just giving it all up and becoming a priest. I need some help, fellas, because I'm out here drowning.
Same. I'll take more help.
Facts. I had this whole proposal planned out for my girl, Sarah. We've been together for 3 years, and yeah, she fine. Oh, I see why. She fine. Like she's the type that makes you want to post a WCW every Wednesday. So I figured I'd pop the question on a hike with our friend group. And just so y'all know, I don't even hike like that. I even bought new shoes for this, and my knees were mad at me the whole way up. But I'm thinking it was going to be worth it when I see her face. When we get to the top, I get down on one knee, and I'm in the middle of my speech when Emily, one of the girls in our group, turns around first. And now Emily's cool, and yeah, I mean, she's pretty, but she ain't pretty. Like my girl, Sarah is. Emily's mixed, which is fine. I'm not saying nothing about mixed girls. I like mixed girls.
Why do we have to do this? Why do we have to do a whole side caveat about this?
I don't know. It just makes me feel like the next thing he's about to say.
He's about to say some bad.
So wild.
Some bad. I know it.
It's like, Emily's mixed, which is fine. I'm not saying nothing about mixed girls. I like mixed girls, but I don't like her.
That's fine.
You feel me? I'm strictly on an exclusive Snow Bunny diet right now.
Wow. There it is.
And Emily ain't on the menu. But what's crazy, Emily started crying and saying, "Oh my gosh, yes." Before Sarah,
why in the world would she think that someone's proposing to her? You guys ain't even dating. Like what?
I I don't know. Before Sarah even turns around, and I'm stunned. Like, ma'am, how do you think this was for you? Redacted, subword chick. I'm the one that called you and told you it was for Sarah. But then Sarah smiles and goes, "Oh, this is so sweet. Congratulations, Emily. You're so lucky." And I'm just there on one knee like, what? Later, I pulled Sarah aside and I said, "Yo, I'm not doing anything with Emily. We both need to confront her." She stopped me and said, "James, she's going to die in 3 months anyways. Then I get you all to myself. And you did a good deed. Let's do this for Emily."
What in the Make-A-Wish? What is happening right now?
Not going to lie, I folded. Because I thought she was going to die anyway. What's 3 months?
Did she? What?
What am I supposed to do? Tell a dying woman no? So I go along with it.
You just said she's gonna die anyways.
So I go
What's the
along
matter?
with
That's
it.
what she should do. Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue.
So I go along with it, thinking it's okay. This is a temporary situation. Sarah even volunteers to be Emily's maid of honor, talking about it's her last wish. She doesn't have much time left. Emily has terminal cancer. Or at least she had terminal cancer. Saint Perrine Larazi said, "Nah, hold this. This you now." Because guess what? Emily ain't dying no more. Last week, the doctors told her she was completely cancer free. Doctors were saying they've never seen it before, calling it a miracle. She's saying it was her will to come back, her will to live and come back because of our engagement. And now she's on full blown wedding planning mode, talking about venues, flowers, and catering. Like this was the plan all along. And when I thought it couldn't get any worse, I found out Sarah, my actual girlfriend, the one I was trying to marry, is engaged to my best friend, Matt.
There it is.
Yeah, my boy from kindergarten. Apparently, they've been sneaking around my back the whole time we were together. So while I'm out here fake proposing to Emily, Sarah's out here with Matt planning her dream wedding like I'm not even a factor. So hear me out. I got a girl I don't even like planning a whole wedding. My ex and my best friend living their best lives, and my knees still hurt from that damn mic. Do I tell Emily the truth and crush her? Or do I pull up on Sarah and Matt for disrespecting me like this? Or do I just forget it and give my life up to God and leave it all behind? Help me out. Help me out, y'all. What do I do? Now pause on that. Now there's a little editor's note from the research team. It says he submitted to the communications research pool 3 times and really wanted a response. His update was received last weekend. Below is the update we included in the overall story due to the further context it provides. Edits and redactions were made to make it suitable for all audiences. Amber, intern for the informatics division. So, quick update. This is the update. You ready? Update. So, quick update. She knew. Her and Sarah were in on it together.
Yeah, that sounds right. that sounds right.
I mean, that's the only way for it to go down. Turns out, Sarah was sneaking around with Matt, and he didn't want to hide anymore. Why? Because he got her pregnant.
Oh,
yeah, pregnant. So they figured it was only a matter of time before everything came out. And Sarah thought it was better for me to have someone, these are Emily's words, not mine, as payment for time invested. I found this all out in front of the priest that was supposed to marry us.
Oh.
Emily spilled the whole plan between tears, and Father Kevin didn't want to be there. Dude looked like
Oh no! Oh no!
Dude looked like he was trying to unsee the last 25 minutes of his life.
Kevin.
Clutching his rosary like this is above my pay grade. And then hard redacted. Subway, my guy, I need you. How are you going to redacted chicken out on me now? and then Emily, this woman, had the audacity to say she loves me, like full on. I've loved you forever, James. You're my person type of speech. And Father Kevin hopped in like, love is important in marriage. Are you willing to overlook and work towards healing to allow your relationship a chance to bloom through marriage? Seeing both of you were taken advantage of.
Oh my gosh, bro! What? Kevin!
And he's like, what? Bro, I got played. But here's the thing. Emily does check off all the boxes. She's fit, she's attractive, she looks good, with and without. Well, you know, Jesus says don't judge. My brethrens. But that's not the issue. The issue is she wasn't supposed to live. She was supposed to have cancer. I was supposed to be a grieving widower by now, and instead I'm stuck with her cosplay weeb self. Like, I'm cool with anime. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not out here trying to dress up as some dude in a skirt while she wants me to act like I'm attracted to her gender bender Sailor Moon getup. I'm an ally. I'm not a team player. You feel me? So now I'm sitting here like, how do I even move forward? Emily's fine. Great. Emily's fine. Great even. But this isn't the life I signed up for. All right, you want to recap?
I think I want a nightcap. Oh my gosh.
It's a situation, man. It's a situation. So,
wow.
Do you want your recap?
Yeah.
All right. So, James, 30 years old, he's like, yo, I got this whole plan. He gets the friend group together. You know, he's going to propose to Sarah. They go hiking. He doesn't like hiking. Gets up there. Boom. Gets on one knee. Emily turns around. Oh, my gosh. Sarah's like, oh, Emily, congratulations. James is like, what is going on right now? Sarah goes to James and says, listen, she is going to die in like 3 months anyways. You might as well fulfill her wish and just give her this moment and don't take it away from her. And then, you know, you get to be a good person and we get to be together. It's great. He goes, I folded. Like, whatever magic she had on him, it worked. He folded.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like, he said he folded. That's what it is. He folded. Next thing you know, homeboy is in this whole thing, right? And he goes, yo, she's supposed to have terminal cancer. He makes his peace with it. He's like, all right, that's fine. Plot twist, she doesn't have cancer. Instead, she's pronounced cancer-free. Doctors don't even know why she's cancer-free. Says it's a complete miracle. Also, deep cut, he threw in like Saint Perini Larazi, which is a deep cut. It's a patron saint for cancer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's a deep cut. But it's like, nah. So he's like, you know, Saint Perini. Yeah, let me see. Saint Perini. I just wanted to double check. Yeah, patron saint for cancer. Oh. He is patron saint for cancer because he had cancer. Because he had cancer of the leg. So he's patron saint for cancer, and his doctor said,
"You have cancer of the leg. I think you have like a cancer in your leg." Yeah, I got cancer in the leg.
Cancer in the leg. I don't know, man.
So you got bone cancer. You got like
he's suffering from cancer in his leg. Cancer in the leg. I don't know. Whatever. He got cancer in his leg. Okay, fine.
There you go.
He got cancer in his leg. Fine. Anyway,
grow legs out of your torso.
You got cancer. Anyway, so he goes, hey, you know what? It is what it is. And then now he's in this midst, and then he finds out somehow that his best friend was sleeping with his girl, because now they're engaged, and he's like, what is going on here? And that was it. And so he was just like, yo, what do I do? Because she's out here just living her best life with his best friend, and he's like, how did they even get together? This doesn't make any sense. Like, what's going on? And then he gives this update where he's just like, so they were sitting what sounds like their pre-Cana stuff with the priest, and they're like, hey, yo, you know, and I can only imagine it's Father Kevin in the room, and Father Kevin goes, you know, the church teaches that you should be coming to the altar freely and willingly, and there shouldn't be any lies. And that, and he goes real deep and like paints this beautiful picture, and then she just breaks down crying because she spills everything. Like, yo, this is a plan from the beginning. Sarah and I got together. We did this, da 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 da. And he's just like, hey, yo, what? And he looks at Father Kevin, and Father Kevin's just like, I don't want to be here right now. This is not what I signed up for.
You know, I know they told Kevin, like, first year priest, like, yeah, you know, this pre-Cana thing, and it's your responsibility to do as a pastor one day. And he's like, okay, well, it makes me uncomfortable. Like, why does it make you uncomfortable, Kevin? Because I feel like one day, like, there's going to be a situation where they're going to get into some kind of argument, or there's going to be a real serious contention, and I'm not going to know what to deal with it. And then someone told Kevin, listen, don't even worry about it. The Holy Spirit will take care of everything. And he said, didn't it say in scripture, don't prepare what you're going to say beforehand, just let the Holy Spirit like work? I'm like, yeah, but also in scripture, that's about defending the faith and yourself. I don't really think it's about like doing counseling. And so they're like, no, just let it rock, Kevin. And Kevin finally found his situation, and he's like, I don't want to be here. I didn't want to be here from the beginning. I don't even know. Poor Kevin.
He said they're just going like, why? Why did it got to be me though? What did I do? I didn't do anything. And then she goes, like, at the end of it, she hits him. Emily turns to him and goes, I've always loved you. I've loved you since the very beginning. I've always wanted to be with you. Like, just a full-blown, like, love confession, which to me is wild. Like, how you gonna be in the midst of this whole situation, and you turn to the guy and he just goes, I love you. I've always loved you. Da-da-da-da-da. And then...
Okay. Congrats. Like, I'm sorry, but that's not enough. That's also not an excuse to manipulate someone to the point where they're going to marry you because you've always loved them. That's a one-sided thing. Also, that's a canonical question. Have you ever been
manipulated?
Have you ever been manipulated to get there, or are you freely giving of yourself? You can't freely give of yourself if there's information that you did not know prior.
Right. Well, and again, I think that's what was said, and then she just felt like, "Yo, I feel convicted."
I feel convicted, and now I gotta make sure that you choose me freely. Now that we're in pre-Cana a couple weeks out, and I already put down a deposit on the reception.
Hey, yo, there's monies have been spent, cards have been made, my family's coming in. Yo, I'm cancer free now.
You were cancer free before the beginning.
No, like she became cancer free. And then they were continuing with their pre-Cana stuff.
I can get you a cookie cake for that, though. Like, we don't got to get married. Like, this was never supposed to be a thing.
Well, you know?
Also, James, can I call you James?
Yeah.
Buddy, I'm going to say this to you because I know you're going through it. And I know you feel lied to. And I know you have a lot of things going on. You thought you were going in one direction. Things got swept out underneath you. I'm going to let you know like this. My broham. My brethren.
The redacted brethren?
Yeah.
My redacted brethren.
My redacted brethren. Because you already know what it is. You need better people around you. I don't know where you're going to find them. I don't know where you're going to find them. This is a deep cut. There's a lot of hurt to go through. If you try to get married in the Catholic Church, you just keep going to mass, dog.
Yeah.
Focus on yourself. Focus on what God thinks of you. Focus on how you're going to flourish in life. Focus on what he's called you to in the vocation. This is not a sign that you need to go ahead and give up everything and become a priest. That's not what this is.
Which, pause. He's going like, yo, these women are messy. I just want to be by myself for the rest of my life. God must be calling me to priesthood, because otherwise, why would he put me through this? Like, what? Like, what?
I promise you that's not a solution, because the messiness doesn't stop. It just comes in different forms.
Yeah.
And now people ask things of you for free. So don't think. I'm like half kidding. But like
No. The amount of times I've watched people try to finesse their way into your life and be like, hey, yo, be like my husband, but not my husband.
Yes, give me the things that my husband is supposed to give me, that I want him to give me, with no strings attached, and don't tell anybody.
Right.
I'm like, first of all, unhand me.
That's another
Second
thing.
of all,
Can we pause for a second? Yo, I'm going left. I haven't gone left in a good minute. Yo, put 5 minutes on the clock. I gotta go left. I gotta go left on this.
Time to go left, left. Time to go left, left. Echoes in the night. Left, left. Time to go left.
go.
All right. Listen, here's my thing. We live in a society and we live in a world where people respect people. It's
Sometimes.
a basic concept. If 1 + 1 is 2 and 2 + 2 is 4, then my space is my space. Your space is your space. Now, just because in front of his name says FR does not give you license to come up and touch the small of his back and be like, oh, hey, father, how's it going? How are you? No, that's still creepy. Like, in no other context is that okay. But yet I can look, the amount of times I'm watching these, like, a lot of church ladies, they just come up and just go, oh, and then the church men are just as bad. It's not like it's a gendered thing. It's like men and women just go, oh, priest, you don't got the life is. It's as if they sat in seminary and heard a priest's life is not their own, and then it amended it and said, so is his body. His body ain't his own either. Like, he's gonna give his, it's like, oh, he's gonna give his body to the church. Are you kidding me right now? No, listen. The same rules apply. If you don't know that man, and I'm sorry, just because you know his name, just because you've seen him a couple of times, just because his homilies are good, maybe he has a nice smile, maybe he has a good haircut that day, maybe he decided to moisturize and he don't look ashy. I don't know. That doesn't give you license to touch the man. It doesn't. You know what it does give you license to? Hey, how's it going, father? And shake his hand like the average American. Because you know what? That's what we do to people. We shake their hands. And then when we get to know them as individuals and we get to know them personally, then, you know, based on our cultures and customs, we might get a little bit, okay, cool. Because, hey, you know what? If we're down in Miami and I knew you for a while, guess what? I'll give you a kiss on the cheek. Not because I'm getting frisky, just because that's the custom down there. Because if you're Spanish, you meet somebody, you kiss them on the cheek. Hey, hello. You're Italian, you're down in Miami. Hey, you kiss them on the cheek, both cheeks. Mwah, mwah. Boom. That's it. And you move on. You keep it pushing. But, you know, I've seen a scene with my 2 eyeballs where I watched this priest look at me and ask me, help me, because she won't let me go. And you see what I see, right? And I'm looking at this going like, this can't be real. This can't be real.
You know it's real.
It can't be real.
It's really real.
So at the end of the day, all I'm saying is a priest's life is not his own in regards to the ecclesiastical ministry that is provided to him by God. But just like our liberal brothers and sisters always say, his body, his choice. His body, his choice. It's not your choice to just come up and be like, oh, I'm going to touch you now. No, ask permission. Ask permission. You need consent. If no consent was given, do not touch. It's like a shop. If you can't pay for it, don't touch it. And you know what? There's no amount of money that's going to allow you to pay for Father's time. It's a grace that he gives it to you in the first place. And what you're confusing as unconditional positive regard, you're confusing that as like, oh yeah, he loves me. No. He's giving you unconditional positive regard. Accept it for what it is. And don't treat it and misuse it, because eventually that's going to stop. And when it stops, then you're going to get mad. Oh, why Father being mean all of a sudden? Why Father shape up? No. Father got tired. He got tired of saying, please stop doing that. Please stop doing that. And he got tired of you disrespecting. So he said, you know what? I got boundaries. I'm going to adjust myself because the boundaries are for me and for me to be safe. Because if things went south, the first person you're going to throw under the bus is father. You ain't going to take accountability for your actions. So all I'm saying is keep your hands and feet to yourself. It's kindergarten, ladies and gentlemen. Ride the bus appropriately.
45 seconds
I've been thinking about it, dog. I've been thinking about it. It's one of those things. It's just like, hey, I don't understand. Like, I don't get why people always do this. Like,
Time to go left, left. Echoes in the night. Left, left. Time to go left. It's time to go left, left. Time to go left. Say my name, don't be scared now. Let's talk about it. Don't hold back, put it all out. I wanna know what's on your mind. Can't keep playing with the time. Let's talk about it. We don't talk it all night.
so I'm willing to help, but I'm not taking everyone's burdens. Sometimes people need to handle their own problems instead of expecting me to bear the load. This is a situation that happens all the time in every aspect of life, and it's a situation that you and I both come across all day, every day. Individuals that walk into our offices respectively and tell us issues, and then we stop and ask, like, wait, is this something that you were dealing with? And they go, nah, this is my cousin, this is my friend, this is my brother, this is my this is my that. And you go, well, what is your responsibility within that whole cosmos of that situation? And they go, I don't have any. It's just their problem, and I'm concerned for them. And we got to pause because it puts us in a weird situation, because it's like, hey, yo, either it's your issue or it's not your issue. And it creates this space, because I think at the end of the day, most people are wanting to see those that they love succeed, flourish,
Of course.
and develop.
Of course.
But there is this weird desire to take away all forms of pain and live a life that's almost fairy tale like. Mm-hmm. And so ultimately, I'll play it on the table. I'll lay it and I'll present it to you. And here's the question. I'm going to just tee it up for you. When you're looking at that situation, you got someone in your office that is just talking about someone else that is living a life of despair, or living a life that's just destructive. Mm-hmm. But clearly it's their life. So for example, you got a mom that's talking about her daughter or her son, and it's like, yeah, my child is not doing the right thing, and they're not going to church, and not doing this, and not doing that. How do you tell them that's not your concern?
Well, I mean, I find it difficult to give an overarching answer to that, because there's going to be specific situations in which things are going to be a little bit different. I think if it's a mom talking about their child, there's always going to be a lot more compassion and softness and tenderness and a genuine want for that child to succeed and make good choices. Now, what good choices are going to always end up being subjective to the parent.
Right.
So that being said, if we're talking about, a Catholic parent wanting their kid to live a Catholic life, a lot of times I spend a lot of my time talking to parents and to people or caregivers and guardians talking about their children, their grandchildren who are not going to mass anymore, who went away to college, who fell away from the faith or were wavering, and then they got into relationships with somebody either who's a fall-away Catholic or somebody who's not Catholic at all. And now they're worried about their grandchildren, and they're worried about if the kids are going to get baptized, or worried about whether or not they're going to find a home parish, whether or not God has a situation in their life or a place in their life that they can actually run to. What happened to all the work and the faith and the Catholic school tuition, and what happened? Did we not do a good job? Did we fail somewhere? I have this conversation at least every other day with someone new, and that is shocking to me. But also sometimes it's not, depending on the situation. Yeah. And so when it brings it right down to it, what part of that relationship and what part of that onus is on them? The prayer part is. And I know they get tired of hearing that. I want to know exactly what I can do to make my daughter start going to church, and exactly what I can do to make my son start going to church. I want to know what I can do to fix it tomorrow or tonight even. and they don't want to keep praying for them. Oh, well, Father, I pray for them. I pray for them every day. They're my children. I pray for my friends and to have better times. And, the reality is, hey, weren't there people wandering in the desert for 40 years? I mean, do you think that they prayed every single day to find water, an oasis? Do you think they prayed every single day to make sure they had enough food and sustenance? Yeah, they did. But at the same time, it still took them 40 years. And within those 40 years, there are also people who came along and said, you know what? This God that we're praying to, obviously it's not working because, hey, I saw sand yesterday. Look what I'm looking at today. Sand. Guess what I'm going to see tomorrow? Probably more sand. So how about we go ahead and melt down all this gold and make ourselves a golden calf and then get ourselves out of here. And on maybe after the third day, it's like, nah, I'm not going to do it. After the fifth day, after the third month, after the fifth year, it starts to wave on you. It starts to look real good. God's been real silent. This golden calf looked real good. And as soon as that golden calf gets done, God says, what you doing? Now everybody's sick. Now everybody's crying. And that is to say that there is a right way to do things. And the presence of God has never been absent. It doesn't mean that the presence of God hasn't been silent. It doesn't mean that God doesn't give us silence. But God works in his own time. We happen to live in time. We are two people who are looking at a portrait 3 inches away, trying to look at the entire picture. We will never understand what God is doing in our lives. We'll never understand what the kid's doing. Like, you have no idea how God is going to work in this child's life, where he is with the people that he's with. And maybe it's going to take that relationship that is on shaky ground. Maybe it's going to take getting into a marriage without God and trying to figure that out, and then realizing that, man, I need something more stable than fruit snacks and love. Like, I need something else I need a compass because I don't know where my family's going, and I'm trying to be a man, but I don't know how to lead my family. Maybe it's going to take that. And you know what? I celebrate a lot of funerals. I just came from a funeral today, and I can tell you this. The individuals that lay on their deathbed and say that they're ready for death, those are individuals who can say that they had a good death. Could you imagine living a life and saying, I'm about on the brink of oblivion, whether you're a believer or not, and saying, I'm ready to fall off the side of a cliff into nothingness? No. The people who don't believe are the ones who are terrified of death. Those are the ones who talk only about life. Those are the ones who have the celebrations of life, and there is no visual. Like, there is no celebration of what is to come for the rest of our life. There's no hope. It's just, I'm going to end here, and that's terrifying. The people of faith say this is just the beginning. That's why they have vigils in Catholic churches. That's the beginning of the liturgy. It's to bring everyone together. Those funeral masses, they're not really for the dead. They're for the living. It's for people who grieve and who mourn to be able to move forward. And I say all this because God is doing something incredible in our lives that we cannot even fathom because we are in our lives. We're not in oblivion. God is outside of time, and God is the one who's guiding us forward. So that is all to say, man, God is good.
Preacher, you better talk to him. The preacher, you better talk to him, because listen,
You know what it is.
yeah, dog. That was good. I can't. What you want me to say? That was good. You better talk to him, because at the end of the day, like, when they come see me, I ain't gonna be that graceful. I'm not gonna be that graceful.
Yeah, they only pay one of us.
That's true. That's true.
It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Because at the end of the day, what you just said encapsulates the entirety of what we believe as Catholics. Entirety of what we believe as Catholics. When I get someone in front of me and ask me that exact same question, I ask one question. Is that your life or their life? Are they an extension of you, or are you a person and they're a person? Oh, they're a person, I'm a person. Okay.
They don't want to hear that, though.
No, they don't. They don't.
I wouldn't want to hear it.
They don't. No one wants to hear
I know it's true, but I don't want to hear that.
Right? And so the next thing I go is like, hey, listen, if they're a person, if they went to jail, are you responsible for that?
Nope.
Okay, cool. If they were successful and did something like this thing that they're doing right now, if it blew up overnight and it was the most responsible for that,
There'll be a lot of people who are upset, but no.
So what we're establishing here is that your actions and their actions are separate. Your behavior and their behavior are separate. Your thoughts and their thoughts separate. So everything is separate. And it goes and then it goes back to the same two rules I've been saying from the very beginning. You are in charge of your thoughts, your actions, and the way that you respond to situations. They're in charge of their thoughts, their actions, and the way that they respond to situations. Mm-hmm. When you sit there and go, I want to make my kid go to church. Okay, cool. You're not God, though.
That's true.
I mean, to be fair, how many things do you think your parents wanted you to do that you didn't do? Mm-hmm. Why? Because you're a different person. Your parents could have just as easily wanted you to do, hey, they wanted you to work at the mill. But you said, no, I want to go to college. Mm-hmm. Now what? You don't think your dad, who worked in that factory, wanted to see his son work in the same factory? Oh, no. But you know what? Your decision was good, right? Like, you had full knowledge of everything that was going to happen, both good and bad, and you decided that going to college was a far better decision than working in the factory, right? Mm. Huh. That's why when he died, you took all his inheritance.
Ooh. Oh.
It was such a bad decision for him, but that money was good for you when he died. You can't have it both ways.
Nope.
You can't have it both ways. So at the end of the day, you have to contend with the fact that you aren't the final person in charge of it. And this speaks to the thing that parents can't stand more than anything else. When my child is a child, from the time that they're born to the time that they turn around 12, 13 years old, and they can't abstractly think, I am as if I am a god to them. Because I can do no wrong. I can say no wrong. Everything I say is like law. But the moment they start to think outside of themselves and they can start to process and think abstractly, now they can challenge me. And when they can challenge me, now they ask me, well, you said this. And I'm watching this play out. So how do both of those compute? And if I don't have an answer for that, that's on me.
No, it is. It absolutely is.
That's on me. So what a lot of parents do is just tighten that grip and say, no, I refuse. I refuse to let go. And instead of growing and adapting and accepting the fact that their role is going to change over time, they instead say, I would rather destroy your foundation or not allow you to have a foundation, just so as you grow up, you will always need me in your life because the foundation is me and not the things I teach you.
That's a sad place to be.
So that's why you get a lot of kids, when mom and dad die, they're a mess.
Yeah.
Why are they a mess? It's like, wait a minute. Mom and dad were 70, 80 years old. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Grandma was 90 years old. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You knew they were going to die. Mm-hmm. You thought they were going to live forever? Well, I don't know what to do now. They were always the person that... And then start looking at it and you go, wait, hold on. So whenever you had an issue, who did you go to? Oh, I went to my mom. Okay. And then what? And then she told me what to do. What?
Yeah. That happens a lot.
It's not to say that, hey, getting advice from people isn't a bad thing. Okay, yeah, go get your advice from people. But at the end of the day, you have to be the one to make your own decisions, and you have to process through that. Mm-hmm. But a lot of parents are willing to sacrifice the foundation of their children so that they can feel needed throughout the life of their child. And when they die, they don't care what happens.
Yeah, you pissing a lot of people off right now. Someone's listening to this in their minivan right now. And they're like, we should turn this off. And the 12-year-old's like, nah, turn it up. No. Turn it up. Sounds good. Turn it back up. Turn that up. I want to hear what he's about to say.
Just let me cook. But that's the thing. And it's a shame because a lot of parents are wondering, why do I hate the teenage years? You hear this a lot from parents. I hate teenage years. Why do you hate teenage years so much? I love working with the teenagers. I can't wait for my own daughters to get to teenage years, because that's when they're thinking abstractly. Yep. And I've done such a great job with them, like with the black and white, and saying like, hey, this is what your foundation is. Hey, this is what it is. They have a question, we explore it. If I don't know the answer to the question, I go, I don't know. Let's go look it up. Yeah. All right, cool. They have an ecclesiastical question. I'm like, I don't know that one. That's a very weird, specific question. Let's go ask your uncle.
I know exactly what that is too. It's always her.
It's always her. It's always her. But it's like, yo, we go and we explore the answers and we find it together. It becomes that process. So you have that foundation built. So now what effectively have I done? I said, listen, this is what you should think. This is the black and white situation here. 1 + 1 = 2 in every situation. So now when she thinks abstractly, she goes, okay, hold on. 1 + 1 = 2. And if I'm struggling with this situation, let me take a step back. What is it that I know for sure? Okay, this is what I know for sure. Let's say she's struggling with her self-image. I don't think I'm pretty enough. All right, what do I know for sure? Well, I know my parents love me. I know God loves me. And I know that if I wear something that I feel comfortable with, then I should be okay with it. If I don't feel comfortable with it, then I have the ability to change certain aspects of myself so that I can feel comfortable with it. What do I want to change? Now, all of a sudden now, it becomes a completely different discussion.
That's true.
It's a completely different discussion. You're not looking for mom and dad to fill in the blank for you to be like, oh, you're so good, you're so good, you're so good. No. Now, you're putting your child in the driver's seat to say, what is it about my life that I want to change, to move, to adjust? And then as the parent, I go, okay, so you like that? Yeah. Cool. Good for you.
Yeah.
And without fail, my daughter would go, Dad, do you like it? I'm like, sweetie, do you like it? Yeah, I do. Then why does it matter if I like it? Like, why does that matter?
That's true.
If you're enjoying it, why does it matter if I like it? Because I could or could not. But if I don't like it,
you're not the one wearing it.
Yeah, it doesn't change if I enjoy it. It doesn't change if you enjoy it. Just if you enjoy it and you like it, go ahead. Does it follow the rules? She goes, yeah, it follows the rules. If you ask my daughter right now, what's a church dress? She will tell you a church dress is a dress that that has to go right below the knee or longer. A church dress cannot be certain fabrics. A church dress has to, and then she will explain to you all the different things of the church dress. And then she'll go out with you and say, that's a church dress. That's not a church dress. That's a church dress. That's a church outfit. That's not a church outfit. She'll do that. The only way she's able to do that is the fact that I sat down with her and her mother sat down with her and said, these are the differences.
And that's going to help out so many first confirmation people or just one confirmation. You only get one confirmation, but confirmation people. Because like I've seen these DREs sweat when some of these teenagers show up for confirmation.
Oh yeah.
And man, they
dress like, let's just call a spade. A lot of you parents are allowing your kids to dress like they're going to a Victoria's Secret photo shoot. And I don't understand what your thought process is. Like, I really don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, I do not get it.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to church. But yet she's wearing a dress that's like, what, thigh high? And skin tight?
It's been seen.
Like, why?
I've never understood it. I'm never going to make a comment about it because I can't. So I'm just like, yo, DRE, can we put a dress code on some of this? Something.
Nah, but you see, they're not going to because they're too scared.
Yeah, because they don't want to insult anybody and have that person never come back to the church again. But I'm like,
but you know what? Fine.
Like, what are we doing? Like, you understand that there's going to be photos, right? And that this is going to be in the bulletin, and the entire parish is going to see this. Are you okay with someone who you don't know, who is a stranger, looking at your daughter, your flesh and blood, my shepherd, my sheep? Like, these are my people. Like, are you okay with someone else looking at your daughter with being untoward in any way, shape, or form? I'm not saying it's a guarantee it's going to happen, but I would hate for that to happen.
Well, why are you putting yourself in that position in the first place?
That I can't answer.
This is the question that I have, and it's a real thing because you're the parent, right? If you've already destroyed the foundation of this child and you've said like, hey, I'm going to be the one, because I don't get this. Like, this is the part of it I don't get because I've seen a lot of parents do this where they will scream and complain about how their children don't respect them and then turn around and spend $600-700 on a dress and outfit, makeup, and all that stuff for a prom day. And then you look at the prom dress and you go, I know sure that you would not want her to wear that if she was going somewhere else. If she decided to buy that for herself, you wouldn't let her leave the house like that. So why are you buying that for her? And you spent all that money on her? Isn't she the same girl that you said last week that disrespected you? But yet you spent all this money on her? Why? That's an expensive disrespect.
Yeah.
What do you think you're fostering at that point? And this is what I'm saying. If parents really want to see a difference in their children, start building a foundation, which means you establish what's right and wrong first, and then teach them how to think. Teach them what to think first and teach them how to think. You have a child wants to learn. A child wants structure. A child is looking for guidance, especially when they're younger.
Yes.
Especially when they're younger. And by the time they're born to the time they're about like 12, 13 years old, all of that space is for you to establish a groundwork. After 13, from 13 to 18, it becomes infinitely harder to try to establish a groundwork because you know what you've done from birth to 13 is already established the ground rules. Whatever your rules were, you've established. If all of a sudden you try to switch up now, they're going to look at you like, why are we switching?
Exactly. For what?
For what? Because I can see you don't even follow the rules you set, because that's the second half of it. If you're going to set a rule, it has to be a rule for the whole house. It can't be a rule for them and not for you. Why? Hey, if you say cursing is not good, but then you turn around and you say, you mother...
Yep. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem.
Your kids are watching that. And they go like, oh, I just got to be at a certain point, and then mom thinks it's cool or dad thinks it's cool, and then that's it.
Or they tell you be responsible with your alcohol when you get 18.
Yeah.
And then every other weekend, you see both your parents on a bender.
Yeah.
It's gonna tell you, well, it doesn't really matter. And if they're lying about this or they move the boundaries on that,
right?
So I can do the same thing, right?
Exactly. I had a intern who ended up calling me to go pick her up at a family function because everyone was slosh and she felt uncomfortable. She's like, I feel incredibly uncomfortable. Can you come pick me up? And I was like, I don't know. This was like years ago. And she was like, can you come pick me up? I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, please, I feel unsafe. And now here's my problem. When someone says they feel unsafe, now I'm in this weird legal space.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, you are.
Right? So I call a female colleague of mine, hey, come with me. Let's go pick up this. So we pick her up. And I'm like, where would you like us to take you? She's like, I have nowhere else to go. And I'm like, okay. So I end up calling one of the church ladies that had a daughter around the same age as her, and I said, hey, would you feel okay? And she's like, oh yeah, no, sure, whatever. Because I've developed a relationship with her a while back. And then I dropped her off. I was like, here's the thing. And I went back to her house and dropped off information. It's like, hey, this is where your daughter is, here's information. And I posted it on the door. So when they woke up, they could find it and all that stuff. And mind you, the daughter was 18 already. So it's not as if like,
yeah, like it's a,
it was whatever. Issue. Yeah. But it was still kind of one of those things like you don't want there to be a confusion type of situation. And it's also Florida where it's just like, still, even though she's 18, you kind of still want it to be that type of thing. Next morning, parents never called. 3 months go by. Parents still don't call. At this point, she's like fully living at this parishioner's house.
Wow.
Fully living at the parishioner's house. A year later, my guy, she goes back home to pick up a bag because she's like, I need this particular thing for whatever. She walks to the door and I was like, oh, hey, what's going on? As if nothing happened. As if nothing happened. And she's like, I can't. I ran into her. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because I ran into her the other day.
Really?
Yeah, I actually did.
Up here?
Yeah. I ran into her the other day. I'm like, what are you doing up here? She's just like, I graduated. She got her master's degree.
Oh,
she got her master's degree. She's actually working she's working as a licensed mental health counselor.
Oh.
With children, with families, with alcohol abuse.
Sounds about right.
And she said, if I didn't pick her up that night, she had no idea what would have happened to her life. And I look at that and I go, I know her mom. I go to church with her mom. I went to church with her mom. I sat next to her mom. Her mom was on a lot of the committees that I ran. And she's like, my mom was a monster. Because the only thing she was concerned about is whether or not she had control over my life. Not whether or not I made it to the next day, whether or not she had control over my life. And it didn't solidify in my head until after you came to pick me up. Because when I reached out to you and said I felt unsafe, you didn't hesitate. You came to pick me up, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. But I mean, that's the type of situations we find ourselves in, where people are in these midst where they go like, hey, they're going to reach out to you. They're going to do whatever. And, you get put in spots. But if you're a parent and you're sitting there going like, is this, you're about to engage in an action. Your kids are watching you. You should ask yourself, is this action something that represents the type of person that I am? So when you're downing your fourth beer, imagine your child downing their fourth beer. Are you livid? Then why are you doing it? When you cursing someone out in the parking lot, imagine it was your child about to get into a fist fight with a complete stranger. Are you livid? Then why are you doing it? Establish a foundation with your kid. Well, then go forth and prosper. And then as they grow, learn to let go. That's the only way to make it. Yeah, that was a good episode, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Your chest.
I never know what you're going to say. It's almost like, don't get caught up. Don't get canceled. Don't get caught up. Don't get canceled.
It's fine. It's fine. For all of us here at Spiritual Studios and for the Father Podcast, I'm Dr. Giovanni. He is Father Gregory Lambert.
The one and only.
We love you. You're very special.
Go forth and bear great fruit.
Catch you next time.
This is the light inside your heart. Welcome to Father, where life and faith meet. A place for the soul, where wisdom speaks. Hope in the message, strength in the beat. Welcome to Father, where life and faith meet.
Father to Father is a production of Spirit Stream Studios. All rights reserved.